Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Lexi and today we're doing another pick a card. Today's pick a card is where will I be 1 year from now, and advice from your future self. So before I begin the reading, I do want to say to remember that time is always in a state of flux, and that if we look at it from a higher perspective and energy form, time doesn't actually exist. So when I say a year from now, even though I'm looking at it from earthly terms as 1 year, energetically that it could change. What I talk about in this reading could come earlier, it could come later. And another thing that I want to say is that you guys are the weaver of your own life, and you guys have the paintbrush to your life in your hand to create whatever picture that you want. So if I was to say something in this reading that maybe you guys didn't want for yourself or weren't that interested in, you do not have to take that energy on. You are the one weaving this energy, so you don't have to take everything as literal, and you have to remember that this is a collective reading. We're just taking a look at the energies. Again, I want to remind you guys that in regards to when we look at anything in regards to like a future energy like that, we have different timelines in front of us all the time, and the actions we make in the present moment will determine what timelines we head down in, whether they can take us completely away from something or whether they can have it come quicker or later. It all depends on what we're doing in the present moment. So I want you guys to remember that too, that you have multiple timelines to walk down on. That's another thing that I wanted to remind you guys of as well. So what we're going to be looking at is the collective energy of each pile, and we're just going to be seeing what headspace when I try and time jump a year from now, where you guys are going to be, where you guys could be, what may be going on, whatever spirit feel that you guys need to hear or what I can focus on. That's what I'm going to be picking up on. So let's get straight into the reading. We have 4 crystals for you guys to choose from. Pile number 1 is the Smoky Quartz Sapphire. Pile number 2, if it stays, let's just get it to stay. Pile number 2 is the Carnelian. Pile number 3 is the Honey Calcite. And pile number 4 is the Malachite. So see which crystal you are drawn to. The timestamps are going to be in the description box as usual, and I will see you guys at your timestamp. Hey pile 1, welcome to your reading. So we are taking a look at where you will be a year from now, and we're going to get some advice from your future self. So straight away when I opened up to you guys' pile, I heard the lyric from SZA's song Normal Girl, and she sings, "This time next year I'll be living so good I won't remember your name, I swear. This time next year I'll be living so good I won't remember no pain, I swear." And I heard that clear as day as I was opening up to your pile. So there may be something right now currently that you guys are purging, releasing. There could be a connection that you're letting go of. I really do feel by this time next year you guys are going to be released from that. I see that circling out of your energy, and I see you guys in a completely different mind space than where you are currently. That's something. So I feel like right now you may be focusing on purging something out, whether it's certain pain, shadow work, or a connection you're literally letting go of. I see it being gone by this time next year, and looking back at it almost rejoicing, at a point that maybe you thought you never would, to the point that you may even forgive them and you're like, I never thought a year ago I would have forgiven them, but I actually do, because it's actually set me free. There's something like that coming through 100%, because it's reminding me of Emily from The Corpse Bride, and she's like, you set me free, and then she turns into butterflies. There's something like that coming through, like a feeling of that. So let's go. Pile number 1, please, spirit guides. Pile number 1. Where are my pile number 1's going to be a year from now? What are my pile number 1's going to be up to 1 year from now? What are my pile number 1's going to be up to 1 year from now? So we have the 10 of Swords. What are my pile number 1's going to be up to a year from now? We have the 10 of Wands. Pile number 1, please, spirit guides. Pile number 1. Where my pile number one's going to be a year from now? Temperance. Oh God. And we have the 10 of Pentacles. I love that. Look at all these 10s. There's something that you guys are doing really heavy work. Look at the World at the back of the deck. Something coming to completion. Have you guys been going through a bit of a dark night of the soul, or just been on a period where, in the period where things have had to get really real? You've really had to fight for yourself. I'm hearing the lyric from Elastic Heart by SZA. And she's like, I walk through fire to save my life. Because I feel like you guys have really had to fight a little bit for your peace. Really work through a lot of heavy emotions. And I think this reading is more so coming through to let you know nothing that you're doing is in vain. I do see over the next, 6 months first. That's where they're taking me. I see you guys, really focusing on putting things into focus in your everyday life, whether that's eating right. There's gonna be like a switch where you're going to reach this level of peace. It's not going to be like this full peace. You're just going to have this level of peace within you to an extent where it's like, okay, I need to, whether it's, I don't know what it is, there's something that you're maybe burdening you a little bit that you may not have had done, or you may want to work on but you don't have the energy yet. I see you guys really putting your energy into it now. I don't know if this is pouring back into yourself after doing a lot of heavy shifting and a lot of heavy work. I don't know if that is maybe focusing on your physical appearance. I don't know whether that is focusing on your physical body. I don't know whether that's getting physical things in gear. It could be car, it could be house, it could be certain things with like a family, that, or maybe doing your house up, doing things that make you feel good. I see a lot of that and pouring into your everyday life. I feel like I'm being taken to the root chakra, and it's making me feel like right now a lot of this heavy lifting and this transformation that's been going on currently where you're at, because these are going to represent the energies. I have other cards to look at new things coming in. I feel like you've been pulling things out that has stopped you from living in the present moment. I don't know if you guys may have suffered a bit of a block in the root chakra, to the point that maybe you struggled manifesting money in, or you would have a hard time being fully present and in the physical body. Let me just it would have had you struggle maybe being very present or getting things done in the physical, because naturally you wanted to escape. And I feel like you guys have been clearing out that root chakra, which is, it's going down to childhood. There's some heavy things I feel like you've been clearing to make yourself more present. And some of you guys may have been dealing with some anxiety in regards to that, maybe some panic attacks in regards to that, as you're focusing and feeling certain energies in the physical once and for all. But as you do that, I see you're getting to a point over the next 6 months where you're feeling a lot more comfortable in your physical body, and you're focusing on things in your everyday life that you would have wanted to get done, but maybe you were focusing on your subconscious wounds for some time. So I'm not being told directly what it is, because it's going to be different for all of you, but whatever it is you've been wanting to have in place, that would make you feel confident, or would make you feel like you have something together, or would just have been something that you would have liked to have, a seed you would have liked to have been planted. I see you doing that over the next 6 months. You're approaching that point. And if you guys are currently feeling like your root chakra is blocked, I see you unblocking that. I don't feel like it's fully blocked. I feel like you've been clearing wounds that from childhood that had you not comfortable in your physical body. I see that being removed, and that's when you're going to be reaching this 10 of Pentacles. And I think these cards, especially with the back of the deck, was more so a message from spirit rather than letting you know what's going to be going on a year from now. I will be pulling other cards, don't worry, but I feel like this is more a message before we get super into it, that you are closing out a chapter. None of this is in vain. Keep focusing on you, keep pouring that energy into you. You are going to get this 10 of Pentacles. The fact that we have, guys, 3 different lots of 10s, you know what I mean? There's something coming to a completion here, and then you have these 2 major arcanas here, the 4 and the 1 adding up to 5. That's shifts, changes. You then have the 2 and the 1 adding up to 3. That's expansion. You're letting go of an old cycle right now. You may be feeling stuck, you may be going through it, but it's not in vain. You're not going to stay in this phase forever. And a year from now, it's going to look very different. So let's pull some more cards and see what's really going to be going on a year from now. So pile number 1, please, spirit guides, what's going to be going on in pile number 1's life a year from now? What's going to be going on in pile number 1's life a year from now? Authority. What's going to be going on in pile number 1's life a year from now, please, spirit guides? Patience and planning. Deception and envy. What's going to be going on a year from now with my pile number 1's? Power. Love that. What have we got at the back of the deck? Awareness. You guys are going to be learning so much. I feel like this time a year from now, I just see our energy like, try me. Because I think that you've learned so much and you're going to be learning so much over this next year that I just feel like any sort of adversity or any sort of path in front of you where there's like a tree there, it's like, I've been through a tunnel of darkness, made my way out, alchemized. You're not going to take me out of my energy, and you can't tell me about me because I've been through my darkness and I've been through my light. I know exactly who I am. You cannot take me out of this power. You cannot like tell me no or tell me I can't achieve something that I want to achieve. I know I can, because look what I've just changed. Look at this cycle I've just ended. And because of that energy within that you're feeling, this immense power, I see you guys literally there. Like, even when you guys are going through certain things, like maybe you, something comes up that you might go through, it's like, okay, this is happening, but you've reached this level of detachment where it's like, there's nothing I can do to control it. It's not gonna, touch my happiness. I know who I am. I know what I'm doing. Don't worry about it. Like, you're gonna reach that point, because sometimes we think when we heal, we're gonna reach this like Adam and Eve land where, Garden of Eden, where everything's perfect and we don't deal with pain or experiences anymore. And we do. I still, deal with stuff like that. But you get to that point of detachment where it's like, I'm not gonna fuss about the outcome. And if it doesn't work out in the way that I'd like it to, it doesn't matter, because what's for me is always going to be for me. I'm just going to detach, and you respond to it differently because you reach that inner peace. And I think that's really where you guys are headed. I see you guys really, like I said, within the next 6 months, I see you guys really pouring into you, starting to get things into gear. I feel like with the authority and patience and planning, just to focus on that a second, I see you guys really not only seeing flowers blooming where you would have planted seeds in this phase in the next 6 months, but I also see you guys taking these flowers that are blooming and creating something more from it. It's like there's a foundation already laid, and I see you guys in it reminds me of like the Emperor energy. I see you guys in that Emperor energy where it's like, okay, this is where I want to go. Let's just say you guys are wanting a house. It's like, right, okay, let me get my finances sorted like this. Let me focus on that. It's like you're this time of year from now, I see you guys really business orientated or very physical world orientated, where you're like, okay, there's something really big that you would have wanted to bring in, and I see you guys like in the works for it, if that makes sense. They're not telling me too much what it is. The 4 energy here does make me think of like a home or something like that. But with the patience and planning, it could be a particular business that you guys are building. But I see you guys in like an Emperor energy of like, you're very focused on not physical possessions, but just physical abundance and making things, it's like security. You're focusing on that a year from now. There's something that you're really building. I do see someone running a lot on a treadmill, so some of you guys may be very focused on your health, making sure that your health's intact. I feel like I'm hearing like healthy gut, healthy mind, so some of you guys may be focusing on that in regards to like mental health. I see you guys having a lot of things in order, 100%. And I think what's going to drive you is maybe when you were purging a lot, you might have felt like, even now you may feel like you don't have a lot of things in order. So I feel like this time of year from now, it's like everything's like under the thumb, the ducks are in a row. That's what I see for you guys. But there's something physical that you're like really, really, really focused on. I see you really business orientated. Why do we have deception and envy? Why do we have deception and envy? I am gonna say, pile 1, that with you guys feeling, because sometimes when people are healthier in themselves, or they physically really focus on themselves and they feel really good about their physical body, or they achieve a big milestone and they feel more confident about themselves, so they're seen more, they tend to shine more. What happens is a lot of people tend to not like people when that happens. When people are feeling good, looking good, and they're out there and they're shining their faces, a lot of people are like, hang on a minute, you weren't like that a couple of months ago. So people can look at that and get triggered by it, or get how are they there and I'm not, and people can get like that. I've experienced that even from people close to me. It does happen, and sometimes it happens more from people close to you than not. I don't know why, it just happens that way. I do see maybe someone, I wouldn't say they're necessarily in your inner circle, but I do feel like someone that may be around you. I'm not going to say it's like evil eye, because I don't even see it touching you. It's just, I feel like you may start to feel certain energies coming from someone. I'm not really being told who. I am being taken to cousins, so it could be like a cousin or something like that. But I am being shown maybe people in, it could be your inner circle, it could not be, feeling some type of way about what you're achieving. It could be that like maybe you're living at home and a parent's not wanting you to move out, and then you move out and they're feeling some type of way because they may think they're losing control. Or it could be you were in this down and out energy with somebody else, but then that person hasn't quite bounced back yet, but you have, and then it's like they're feeling that type of way. But I would say to be very careful over the next year, especially as that flower's kind of blooming out, I wouldn't say don't tell people like your good news and stuff, but I would just say be super aware of the people around you and energies, and don't just write off a feeling that you're getting out of like, oh, maybe I'm just making things up. If you're feeling a certain feeling from someone, just make sure you're being careful there, and putting boundaries in there, because I do feel that someone is going to be a little bit triggered by your confidence, that energy, that alchemization, and that power that you've had. They may be trying to control it. And especially with this deception envy, looking at patience and planning, I will say this, be a little bit careful of who you're telling your dreams and aspirations to when you start to have these new ideas. I would definitely say that. I'm not saying keep everything private unless you want to, but just be very careful when you're telling good news, who you're telling good news to, and what the feeling is like when you're telling it to them, how they react. That's something that I would say, because I see you guys, it's like I'm hearing Don't Stop Me Now, that song. Don't Stop Me Now, I'm hearing that. It's like you guys are feeling pretty good. I wouldn't say that life's super fast paced a year from now, because I see you guys very it's more Taurus energy. Slow and steady wins the race. It's not like this Aries energy. I do see you having a lot of inspiration and excitement in this, in that sense. But I feel like a year from now you're going to be in that Taurus energy where it's like planting a seed, watering it, like taking your time with something, really focusing on something. There's a tunnel vision to something a year from now that you're super focused on. I do feel like it's career or something that's going to bring financial security, because I'm thinking of like Capricorn energy and having material possessions, not because, oh, I want the shiny, but because it's security for me. There's something you're really, really focused on a year from now. And I think that the seeds are already being sown with the alchemization that's happening right now. But I want you to know you're going to get there. I feel like in 6 months from now, you're going to be in this Aries energy of newness. Where do I want to go? What can I focus on? I really do see that 6 months from now. And then I see a year from now, you're back into that planning stage, the masculine stage where you're pushing effort towards something. But I see 6 months from now, there's a lot of inspiration and excitement and colour. You know what I mean? I really, really see that. I feel like 6 months from now, you're in a way, it's like they're showing me like a home, and they're like 6 months from now you're designing the home, you're thinking of all these ideas, you're getting excited, you're going to like different stores looking at things, and then I would say a year from now you're like putting things into concrete. But career is your biggest focus a year from now. I'm gonna pull some oracle cards, and then I'm gonna get some advice from your future self a year from now. Pile number 1, please, Spirit Guides. Where are my pile number 1's going to be a year from now? Some of you guys may be welcoming in a new pet. Pile number 1. Got 2 cards that have, or 3 cards that have flopped over, okay. So we have full moon in Capricorn. I was saying I could feel Capricorn. Full moon in Capricorn, take a reality check. I need them to be seen, so I'll put them like this. Take a reality check. We then have full moon in Virgo, take inspired action. So like I said, you're really getting your ducks in a row a year from now, putting things into focus and watching them manifest. You're really seeing results. And then we have last quarter moon in Scorpio, reveal what needs to be seen. And that's going over deception and envy. So I do feel like there's someone that's going to feel some type of way about you guys being in your power. And I feel like there's something that's going to come in, whether you like pass a course or there's an uprise in your finances or something to do. It's to do with career. It's career. It's all 10th house energy I'm feeling. And I think that it is going to trigger a bit of jealousy from people around you. I have to honor what's coming through. Take reality check, take inspired action. Yeah, this is all about physically putting things into work. I think you're going to be really, really career focused. I'm not seeing too much about love or anything like that. It's not that it won't come in. I just don't think that's the focus, and I don't think that's what Spirit's wanting me to focus on in this reading. I am being told that some of you guys may even meet someone romantically through career. Yeah, something to do with that. The back of the deck, we have last quarter moon in Gemini, clear your mind. That's what you're doing right now, I feel. That's what you're doing right now. Some of you guys may even be thinking right now, I don't know what I'd be doing in career right now because I feel a little bit lost. I don't even know who I am. But like I said, over the next 6 months, I see you guys really getting to grips with who you are, understanding who you are. And I see a lot of downloads coming in where it's like, why don't I try this in regards to my side hustle? Or why don't I try this in regards to my work? Or why don't I take this course? Or why don't I put my energy towards this? I think it would really benefit me and come back in a really good way for me. And then I see that being like a driving force. I see this strong Aries energy. It could happen around Aries season. And then I see you guys really pushing forward. So that a year from now, it's like, I see actual material abundance of something. It could even be that you guys are planting seeds now, little by little. The garden's really starting to bloom. But while the garden blooms, it's like you're taking the seeds and growing more. It's really interesting, really business-minded. Yeah, proper business-minded. So let me, I'll just pop the cards on top. I'm going to get advice from your future self. What advice does my pile number 1's future self have? What advice does pile number 1's future self have? What advice does pile number 1's future self have for them right now? We have the 9 of Wands. We have the Queen of Wands. What advice does pile number 1's future self have for them right now? Oh God, let me grab. If someone really is welcoming in a pet, specifically I'm being shown a Labrador. It doesn't have to be a dog. They could just be showing me an animal like that. But I feel like some of you guys are welcoming in an animal. We have the 9 of Cups. Advice from pile number 1's future self for where they're at currently. 4 of Wands reversed. The back of the deck, we have the Ace of Swords. I know right now you don't have all of the answers, but they are going to come in. There's a full circle moment on its way in. Please be patient is the message from your future self. Right now, you're walking in the dark. You're not seeing why certain feelings are coming up, or what you're not fully seeing what you're actually doing right now. alchemizing, feeling low. There's so much shifting with this Four of Wands. It's subconscious wounds, it's from childhood. That's why I'm being taken. You're literally flipping it on your head and letting go of it so that you can create without any blockages. And it's heavy, I know, and you can't see the end goal right now, but you're going to get to a point where you're going to be on top of that hill looking back and being like, whoa, I actually got it now. I actually understand why that person had to leave now, and I actually understand why that person had to come in anyway, because that taught me so much about myself. If that connection had gone any other way, I wouldn't be this much in my power. I wouldn't have understood what I deserved. I wouldn't have learned to stand up for myself. It had to go that way, and I get it and I understand. There's a rejoice that you're going to reach, and there's this energy of you homing in on that and remembering that every time you feel low. You're going to get to this Ten of Pentacles. You are clearing out heavy energy, heavy karma is the message. That's what's going on for you guys right now, and that's a strong message. Everything's going to make sense soon. Everything is going to make sense. So you're going to get mental clarity. You're going to understand. I feel like you guys may go through a bit of a spiritual upgrade in the next couple of months, where you're like, oh, okay. You're going to see the universe and spirit a little bit differently too. And you're going to be like, okay, that makes a lot of sense. I get that now. And I feel like life's going to get a little bit more colorful for you. There's such a significance over the next 6 months. And I keep being shown Aries. And I don't know whether it's you guys just being in that Aries energy or Aries season. A lot of newness and excitement, and having that stamina. It's like you're feeling rebooted. I don't know if it's going to be Aries season or not, or if it's over the next 6 months it's going to happen. That's a really big focus. That's going to be these aha moments are going to come in. You don't realize that right now, even through alchemizing, even through maybe lying in your bed and purging something. Yes, you're purging, but what's actually happening is you're rewiring. And yes, okay, you can't physically see anything, but these tears that you're crying out, energetically, you're building a new you're building a new tower with new rooms that, it's not falling apart. There's no cracks in the foundation, and you're building it just by purging these energies away, because you're making room for it. And I know it's painful, and I know you're going through growing pains, but it's not being done in vain. And everything that you have manifested or wanted, it wasn't there just because of wishful thinking. You're seeing those timelines in front of you, and you've purposely gone through this energy so you can get them, to get these Nine of Cups, to get this desire. And sometimes you forget that you are this Queen of Wands that can alchemize and bring these energies in. But you wouldn't have chosen this path if you didn't feel you were strong enough for it, and your higher self and you specifically chose to go through this path and alchemize these energies, because you know these timelines with all of these desires, with all of this fruition on that timeline. You know that's yours. And instead of sitting back and just, why me? You've actually chosen to go through this alchemization and go through that hard path to get there. And those people that choose to do that, they're going to get it in their hands because they're making room for it. And that's exactly what you're doing. So remember, that's what you're doing. Remember who you are with this Queen of Wands every time you feel low. And remember why you're doing this, because the Ten of Pentacles is coming. This abundance and happiness is coming. And it's coming because of you. I think sometimes you forget that it's you that's getting you there. And I'm being told to take this and put it in the front. You're doing this. You're getting yourself there. You are that warrior. You're bringing that in. This clarity, it's not being delivered by anyone else. It's being delivered by you, because it's what you're fighting for and what you're searching for. And this abundance isn't being gifted to you by somebody else. You're bringing this abundance to you. It was you all along. That power was in your hands all along, and you're the one bringing yourself there. So remember that when your back's against the wall, that you have all of that strength to alchemize it, because if you didn't, you wouldn't have even gone through this tunnel of shadow work and into your subconscious anyway. You wouldn't have lasted. You would have ran out, and you didn't. You're facing these fears and you're purging them, and it's one of the bravest things you can do. And that's where your power's coming from. And you're bringing all of this to you because you're the one doing it. That's a message from your higher self, your future self, for right now. I feel like you may be like, well, when am I going to get this? When am I going to get that? You're bringing it to yourself. And that aha moment is going to come and be seeded in. And I feel like that's when I feel like you're going to see a lot of shifts and a lot of changes. It's really beautiful. Really beautiful. So pile number 1, that is what I have for you guys. I really hope that you guys enjoyed. Hit hit the can I not speak today? Hit the thumbs up and comment down below if this resonated and you enjoyed, and I will see you guys in my next video. So thank you guys for watching. Hey pal 2, welcome to your reading. So we are going to take a look at where you are going to be a year from now. So you guys chose the carnelian crystal. I'm going to start with tarot and then we're going to move on to your oracle cards. So let's get straight in. So pile number 2, please spirit guides, tap me into the collective of my pile number 2s. Where are my pile number 2s going to be a year from now? Are you guys like really putting energy in towards like your finances or career right now? It doesn't have to be just career. I just feel this time next year you're going to be feeling very, very confident. The reason I'm saying it is because I heard balling, right? Which makes me think of like financial abundance. But then also I'm hearing the song by Marina and the Diamonds, Prima Donna Girl. Doesn't matter what gender you are. But whenever I listen to that song, it makes me feel very abundant. It makes me feel like I want to be in the energy of receiving and just receive all that I'm worth. Like that's how I feel. And I see you guys reaching that like a year from now. It could come in sooner, but I feel like that may be the theme over the next year, because I just see you guys like you may be taking care of your physical appearance or your hair or you know your physical body or just your worthiness in general. I just see you guys like really shining, really, really good. Like you're like a star. Like that's honestly how it's coming through. I just keep hearing Prima Donna Girl, that song. Pile number 2, please spirit guides. I feel like this time next year it almost feels like you're a magnet, to the point that people might be thinking, oh, that person's just really lucky, that person just gets whatever they want. I don't think it's that. I just feel like, you know when Nicki Minaj says, no, I'm not lucky, I'm blessed. Yes, you feel like that because you're attracting a lot of goodness because of how you feel within. I feel like you guys are going to be in that energy of receiving and knowing what you deserve, so it naturally comes in. Energy naturally responds to that, and because of that you're going to be like a magnet, where I feel like people are going to be very, very drawn to you, very, very drawn to the way that you speak, very, very drawn to just you. Like naturally you're gonna be oozing this attractiveness from you. Literally, I just feel like, you know when you're in your divine feminine energy and you're in that energy of receiving, naturally masculine energies are going to want to pour into you. Like that's what it is, and I just feel like that's happening. It doesn't matter what gender you are. Remember, we all have divine masculine and divine feminine within us, but I just see you guys being in your strong divine feminine energy, where a lot's just being drawn to you and you're just in that energy of receiving. Maybe you currently have trouble with receiving love, receiving compliments, things like that. Maybe that's something you're working on, opening up to receiving. But I see you really being in the essence of that. So it could even be that you've had trouble with it for a while and could even currently be having trouble with it, but you crack that open over the next year, to which everything that you did deserve starts to come in, and then to other people it's going to look like, wow, they've just won the lottery, but that was always yours. You might have just energetically pushed it away because you didn't understand how to receive before, but you would have worked to be able to bring it in. It's really interesting that. So let's lay the cards and see. Pile number 2, please spirit guides. Pile number 2, what are my pile number 2 is going to be up to a year from now? We have the Emperor. What energies are my pile number 2 is going to be in a year from now? What is going on in my pile number 2's lives a year from now? Show me their energy and their lives a year from now. What's going to be going on? 10 of Wands. Okay. What's going to be going on a year from now for my pile number 2's? The Magician. What's going to be going on in my pile number 2's lives a year from now? Oh, my ring keeps slipping off my fingers. What's going to be going on a year from now with my pile number 2's? Knight of Swords. The back of the deck, we have the Hierophant. Love that. I think that you guys over the next year are really going to start having a taster of your own power. Some of you guys, if you are single now, I see you guys opening up to dating. I don't know why I see, if you are single, I see more than one person around you, maybe 2 people. There may be a little bit of a who do I pick? Who do I choose? Because I see more than one love interest coming in, because I see you guys shining out, and I feel like over the next year you're going to have a few people stepping towards you. It could even be people from your past trying to come back as well, but I do feel like there's quite a few people wanting to kind of like court you, start dating you, you know, all of that. I do see that. I see you guys opening up to love, even if you don't feel ready for it right now. I see you guys opening up, but it's not in a way of like, I'm opening up, I'm ready to get married. It's in a way of like, I'm open to seeing my options. I will go through them accordingly and see if any of them are worth my time. Like, that's honestly, it's like you're in control. And there's a strong confidence to it. And I think that maybe you'll be trying on a couple of hats in regards to the dating scene, in a way of, what do I like, what don't I like? So I feel like you may go on more than one date with certain people, and I just see you guys feeling people out. Is this what I want? Is this someone that I would want to spend time with? Does this person bring me joy? I see a lot of fun. I see it's honestly, over the next year, I see you opening up to a lot of fun, even friendships, just doing things in a more, just seeing sights and opening up and just having fun with your life. Maybe the past couple of months, or even the past couple of years, have been a bit heavy for you. Again, maybe you guys have been releasing, maybe you've been on a self-love journey, a self-worth journey. That's why you're opening up to receiving. So I feel like you're just kind of, it's like, how do I explain it? It's like, it's almost like I've been on a diet my whole life, and I've just got this buffet, you know, it's been at the door for a while. I couldn't open it, I was on a diet, but now I've opened the door, I'm not on a diet anymore, and all of these foods here, and I'm spoiled for choice. And quite frankly, I've been on a diet so long, I forgot what all these things taste like. So I'm just gonna have a little bite of everything and just see what suits me. Like, I feel like that's what you're doing. There's fun. It feels fun. Some of you guys may have a trip coming up, or a holiday, or something might happen quite whirlwindy. Someone might ask you to join them somewhere. I don't know why I'm being shown someone with like big coats and snow. So some of you guys may be going up north, down south, somewhere like that. I don't know. I'm just being shown that with the big coats with the fur on and the boots. Like, I don't know why I'm being taken there, but I just see you guys really, really enjoying yourself, and there's a lot coming towards you, and it's going to look on the outside like you've just clicked your fingers and these things have come to you like it's overnight. But it wasn't overnight, because especially with this 10 of Swords, I feel like there's been times of struggle for you guys, and I'm not going to say over the next year there aren't going to be moments where there may be a little bit of pressure applied, or you may have to work through something. I'm not saying that that's not going to happen, but I just see you guys nailing it really well with this Magician energy, because you know who you are. I think that you guys have been on a period of deep inner reflection, of getting to know who you are. You may have been single for some time, so you've been getting to know yourself, your interests, your likes and your dislikes, and I think you're really putting that to the test a year from now, and just really enjoying. I feel like you're opening up to it over this next year, but I feel like a year from now, it's like you're learning so much about yourself through other people and other experiences, and it's like, I know what I like. How do you know what type of wines you like if you don't go wine tasting? And I think like this time next year, it's like you're going to know exactly, these are the types of wines I like, this is the type of connection that I want, and this is the type of person I want, these are my favorite colors, this is that. You're going to really know your needs and wants and who you are. Maybe in the past you felt like you lived for other people, whereas you're really solidifying who you are, finding your voice. There's fun coming through here, a lot of fun. Why do we have the Hierophant at the back of the deck? Have you been on like a spiritual awakening or an ego death? So the old version of you just died, alchemized, and now you're like, who am I? And maybe that's why over the next year you're like, let me see. I saw a lot of people run into you, being attracted to you, and it's not anything, it's not like, it's your energy, it's exuding out of you naturally. I feel like over the next year you may be trying out different styles and maybe shifting your look a little bit, or focusing on your look, because I know sometimes people can say that that is materialistic, but when we feel good in ourselves, and we make ourselves feel good, we naturally exude that out. That does happen. And I feel like some of you guys may be focusing on that too. It doesn't have to be. It could just be your energy inward is just shining out. But people are really drawn to that. You see how she's shining that light outside of her with this energy here? And then this Knight of Swords is just rushing towards her. I just feel like people are really drawn to you. And I think also your discernment is going to be put to the test too. Because we all know when we shine a light, we don't just attract other lights, we can attract moths too. So I think that maybe you'll be flexing your discernment as well. But I feel like you're really going to have everything in order. I want to pull more cards and get deeper as to what is really going on over the next year. I see this is a year of fun. This time next year, like, you're going to have a set of experiences over the next year that are playful and fun, but you learn more of who you are. And this time next year, it's like your mind is going to be on, like, how to explain it? It's going to be easier for you to manifest things in and bring things to fruition because you're going to know what you want. I want this type of relationship. Like, maybe you've always thought you wanted somebody that was into material things. You wanted somebody that was like physically had a lot. But then you dated a lot of people like that and you realize, actually, what I really want is someone that has strong morals and emotional strength and is able to be romantic and emotional with me. Maybe that's what I want more. And it's like you're learning through people, and even friendships and people coming in, it's like you're learning. And I think you might push yourself to do things. I don't know why. I don't know if there's a trip coming, guys. There's either a trip or a holiday. And I see you guys, like, not literally jumping off a cliff, but it's almost like you may push yourselves to do things that you wouldn't normally do, like go flirt with someone, or go and do something physical that maybe in the past you would have been scared to do. It's like you're finding your confidence that way, like, yeah, I'm gonna go rock climbing, yeah, I'm gonna go on this little adventure, yeah, I'm gonna go camp out for like a week. Or there's like something you're doing where it's like, I would never normally do this, but I know it's either gonna like not make or break me, but I'm gonna grow from this. I'm gonna do it. There's a lot of that coming in. You may get like an offer of like a romantic connection. You would have been single for a while and it's like, no, and you're like, you know what, I'm gonna do this, and it opens up doorways for you. It's like it helps you bloom. There's a lot of physical experiences that are happening over the next year. So like a year from now, you will have grown so much, but it's from experiences, maybe not from what you're growing from now, which could be internal work. It's like, I'm growing from experiences. It's really, really, I feel excited. Like, I feel really excited for you guys, pile 2. Pile number 2. You guys maybe from that pile I did the other day. I think it was the spirit guide video. For you guys, it would be on Wednesday. For me, it would have been 3 days ago. But I said in one of the readings, there was an energy coming through, and it was like that inner child was pushing them to go and do fun things, and be open to things. And I feel like you may be from that pile, because it's like excitement's coming in, fun is coming in. But number 2, please, spirit guides. Pile number 2. What is going on in my pile number 2's life a year from now? Choose wisely. See, I feel like you guys are going to be a little bit spoilt for choice. And I want to say as well, even if you do take what people class as a wrong turn, it's not a wrong turn if you learn something. Like, how do you know that you don't want something if you hadn't experienced it in the first place? And how would you know those red flags? I don't see anything too concrete, karmic coming up. I just see you guys testing waters with maybe your finances or your career or connections with people. And I see you guys, you know, there may be instances where you, let's say, meet someone and you start to kind of like them, but then you notice red flags and you're like, you know what, maybe not, and you feel that intuitive nudge and you step back. But I don't see anything where you're like 9 of Swords, purging this karmic. I don't see anything like that. It's like, oh well, you know, I learned, let's go somewhere else, let's move, you know. And I feel like a lot of pathways are coming up for you to test waters out and try things. It's almost like you're in a demo mode over the next year, because within a year from now, they really want to focus over the next year, not exactly a year from now, because I feel like I'm hearing like spoilers, like a year from now you're going to have tried the different hands and be like, okay, this is the one I want, this is the color. It's like You know the house you want, you know the colour, you know the types of sinks you want. Like, you know all of that because over the next year you're trying them out. You know what I mean? That's why you're being called to enjoy this journey, because this time next year you're going to know. You're going to know what you want. Whereas right now you're like, I don't even know who I am. But you're going to learn. And the more you're learning, the more your confidence is growing. It's really, really exciting time. You know when you like, you know when you watch like a new series of, I used to watch a lot of reality TV, so like Big Brother, Love Island, things like that, and you have a bunch of new characters every single year. I feel like you're in that new, you know when you watch that first episode and all those new, you're being introduced to all the new people. There's something like that happening for you guys. Yeah. Pile number. And I see you guys as well, even like, it's so interesting. This is how I know you've been doing some work on yourself. And every time I tap into my collective, you're always doing work on yourself. I love you guys so much because you just work on yourselves so much and focus on alchemizing. The energy is always expansive. I never feel a stagnancy. It's so beautiful. And I know you've been working on yourself because even your taste buds are changing. You may require maybe more fruits, whereas you used to want sugary foods, or maybe you were a savory person and now you're like really wanting sugary foods and cakes and things, or maybe you just have this desire to really eat healthy, and vice versa. It's like even your taste buds are changing. Foods that you used to love you might not like, foods that you used to not like you want, because DNA wise you've energetically changed. So your taste buds are like, well, actually I want this now, because that is all tailored into each other. It's amazing how everything is so interconnected, even down to our literal taste buds. It's very interesting. And I see even your taste buds, so even when we're talking about taste, your taste in partners, your taste in friends, that's all changed. So you're learning what your acquired taste is, because your taste buds and taste in everything has changed. Maybe even into interior design, and you're looking around your home like, everything's blue. I feel like orange is my new color though. You know, it's like you're learning about this new energy. So that this time next year, you're in your orange house with your sweet treats, because you know that's what you like. You go into a restaurant, you know what wine you like, you know what foods you like, because you know who you are. Love that for you guys. You've really been, look at that positive movement forward. It's only up from here, I'm being told. Pile number. And like Moana, when she set sail on the sea to, you know, she wants newness. It's like how far I'll go. She wants that fresh energy. She wants to see what lays beyond the sea. I see you guys really doing that over the next year. And I know you can feel it coming. I can feel it in your energy. You know it's coming. Recognition and reward. See, with the light shining down, I feel like people are really going to see. Look at the sun. Look at the lights shining, and we have the sun here. This isn't going to be the back of the deck, but I'm just showing you guys. It says material harvest with the sun here. But look at these three cards and the lights shining in all three cards. You have like a spot. You're being seen over the next year. This time next year, it's like, you know when people say, when you walk into a room, take up space. When people say you're doing too much, you're not doing too much. Like, be you. Don't belittle yourself for anyone. You're really taking up space. The spotlight's on you. I feel like you're really shining. Maybe you've been going through releasing and going through a self-love journey to the point that you've been watching everybody get their material harvest, and you felt like it's just been winter for you for a really long time. But look at the sun. It's your time. It's your time. And with the magician and the light shining out too, it's your time, and you've done this. You've made way for all of this. We have shadow here as well. You've made peace with your shadow so you can really see your power. You're holding hands with your shadow. Look at that. So that it no longer has control over you. So these insecurities or anything like that, you have a hold over them now. You're not going to let them get the better of you, and you have control over it to a point, like I was saying, of showing someone jumping off a cliff, in the sense of like jumping into newness or throwing yourself into something that maybe your fears would have mentally stopped you before. It's like you're holding hands with your shadow, like, no, I get it. You're holding me back. I know why you want to hold me back, but let's jump. Let's do this. Let's do something new. Let's learn. And you're holding hands with your shadow and teaching your shadow, yeah, let's do it, having control over it so that this newness can come in. In the back of the deck, we have rejoice and celebration. I do feel like you're welcoming in a new friend, new co-worker, or you may find that a particular friendship you have in your life right now is going to start blooming. Maybe there's been a bit of a silence there. Maybe it's going to start blooming, or even for some of you guys, there's only some, if you know, if this resonates, you guys may have had a connection that fell apart a little bit when you were maybe going through an isolative stage or releasing, and the only reason it fell apart was because for that moment in time, you were both growing apart. But you guys may come back together, and only look at that if there was no ill will or anything like that. There's a friendship coming back where you both have love for each other, only for some of you. Otherwise, it's a new connection if you don't have anyone that you want from the past. There's a connection coming back where nothing bad really happened. You just grew apart. You both have love for each other, and you're coming back into each other's lives because you've both grown apart, and now you have a different energy. Sometimes we grow apart to come back differently, and I feel like that may be happening with a friendship. It feels like a friendship, but that's only for some of you guys. So let's pull some cards by here. Pile number 2. What's to come in the next year for my pile 2s? I'm not being taken to like heavy career, heavy anything like that. It's more so enjoying life and learning. I think everything else is going to be taken care of naturally. You're going to have whatever career you're in, it's going to be moving forward positively, but I feel like there might not be this massive jumps forward until you've learned a little bit more about yourself through these experiences. Not to say you're not going to make more money or you're not going to move forward in your career. That's not what I'm saying, but it's going to move, everything's going to fall into place naturally and move and sail positively and move up with you as you move up. And then I feel like once you get a hold this time next year of like, this is who I am, you're going to start putting in notions of like, well, I realize that I'm quite good at this, or I really like this, so maybe I'm going to add this to my career, or maybe I'm going to take this leap in my career because I know I can do that. It's like, but the ideas are forming over the next year as you have fun and enjoy yourself and learn more about you. The ideas are starting to form slowly. That's what's happening. Guys, you literally have new moon in Leo shine, the sun energy. You literally have the sun. We literally have sun. We have the sun up here in this card too. We have the sun coming from the Magician, and we have the sun up top here, and Leo is ruled by the sun. And we have the sunflowers. Guys, I'm so excited for you. I don't know what work you've been doing, but I know you've really been focusing on you, because with this new moon energy, there's so much freshness coming. I feel like the spotlight is on you. I feel like you're maybe building up your ego after an ego death for some of you guys, because you know the sun, that Leo energy, it's the ego. I really do feel like you are. I feel like you're getting more creative, more excited. You're connecting to your inner child. There's such a beautiful time ahead, and I feel like you really deserve it as well. Like you really fought for it, fought for yourself. That's the true meaning of self-love. So if you have been on a self-love journey or a self-worth journey, look at this, look at where you're at right now. You fought for yourself. That is self-love. Because sometimes we think self-love is just putting on a bit of perfume and romanticizing the life, and yes, it is that, but it's also fighting for yourself in the darkest moments, and you've done that to get yourself here. I love that for you guys. You're really opening up to newness. Unleash your kindest self. First quarter moon in Capricorn, and we literally have the solar plexus, which is ruled by Leo, and the sun here, and the light shining down, and then light shining behind the solar plexus. Oh my god, it's about to be summertime in your life. I'm hearing the Flow song, Summertime. It's pronounced F-L-O. They have a song called Summertime, and it's like a really cute song, and I see you guys just having fun. Yeah, I'm really excited for you guys. Pile number 2, please, Spirit Guides. We have the first quarter moon in Sagittarius. Believe in your good luck. Know that newness is about to be in that state of receiving. It's about to come in for you guys. Be open to all possibilities. I'm really excited for you guys. And we have full moon in Aquarius. Be real. You're embracing your authentic self. You're opening up to your authentic self, and learning of these new layers that you've never even reached before. You're getting to know this new you. Let's get some advice from your future self. What advice, spirit guides, do pile number 2's future selves have for them? What advice do pile number 2's future selves have for them? We have strength. We have strength in reversed, which is quite interesting, but we'll get into it. Strength in reversed. Pile number. The strength card's in reverse because you're lifting this wand up and you're opening up to receiving. All of this light that's shining, it's coming back. It's like you're opening your heart up and it's being poured back into you. And I feel like where you felt like you didn't have this confidence or you didn't have this worthiness, it's not even that the universe is pouring it back into you. It's that you're realizing that it was there kind of like all along and you're shining it out. You know what I mean? It's like it's being, technically when you look at it, it's being poured back into you, and that's what it feels like. It's coming back to you, your strength's coming back to you and you're shining it out. But naturally it's you realizing all of these parts of yourself, falling in love with yourself. Self-love got you here, but you're about to fall in love with parts of yourself you haven't even seen before. That's what I see for you guys. And yes, there may be pathways with dead ends over the next year, and yes, there may be days where you may still be releasing, and yes, there may be days with the 10 of Wands here where you may feel there's a little bit of a struggle, but it's like you see this worthiness in you to just kind of alchemize through it, you know. Pile number it's like it's no match for you sort of thing. It's like, yeah, I know, I'm not going to push it away. I'm going to feel these feelings if they're coming up. I'll let them come through. I'll feel that feeling of disappointment if I have to, or fear, or the growing pains, because naturally you'd have growing pains when you're growing like that. I'm going to feel them, but I'm going to hold their hand this time, and work through them, which I love. I just feel like you've been through enough purging and pain over the last couple of years. I feel like this is going to be a really welcomed relief and summertime. It feels like you're entering the summertime of your life. Pile number 2. Where will pile number 2 be? No, what advice do pile number 2's future self have for them? We have the 2 of Pentacles reversed as well. Where will my pile number 2's be a year from now? I feel like at times, with the 2 of Pentacles being reversed here as well, and it's going under the 10 of Wands, you guys even may feel a little bit overwhelmed, I'm not going to lie. And I would say too, the next year things are about to speed up. Make sure you're pacing yourself. That's one thing that I will say. And I will also say a message from your future self is, with the 2 of Pentacles reversed, don't overly commit yourself to a ton of things, because you still need time to yourself to maybe release or fill up your cup. Make sure that even though there's a lot of excitement going on, you are pouring into yourself at the same time and taking time out to rest, because I feel like sometimes you may go to extremes. So like say now you're doing like inner work, you may continue to do inner work and not give yourself time to rest. So then when life starts to speed up and things start to come in, it's like you might feel like you have to take in every offer because it's there, when you can turn things down. And it's the same with career and where you're putting your finances. Yes, you may have a little bit of bout of, you know, financial abundance, and yes, you may be feeling excited and wanting to buy certain things, but be careful that you're not overspending or, you know, over giving too much of your time, because remember to center yourself. That's a message coming through here. Remember to center yourself so you're not getting imbalanced at any point. That's something that I'm being told. And there will be certain energies that will come up for release over the next year. But welcome them, acknowledge them, and release them. You're moving forward is the message here. I love how Spirit's like, we're not going to talk about a year from now, because a year from now you're going to be exactly where you need to be because of the journey you're about to walk on. Let's talk about the journey. Like, I love that. I'm not going to use them because I feel like that was me that just knocked a bunch of cards out of my hands. Pile number 2, a year from now. What advice does pile number 2's future self have from them a year from now? Oh my god, these cards are just popping out. Too many cards. One card, please, Spirit Guides. A year from now. Where will my pile number 2's be a year from now? Let me grab it. 4 of Wands. Trust the process. Trust all of the weavings that are happening. All the little detours. Because I feel like 1 year from now, it's like you're working and building towards an intention you set before you even started maybe going through inner work. It's like, so now you decided to go on a self-love journey or a self-worth journey or to have control over your life. It's like, okay, I want to do this. And then it's like, okay, so I'm going to be going through all of this releasing. And then when I come out of this releasing, I'm going to be learning about myself. And then when I'm learning about myself, it's like I'm getting to know what I want. And it's like all of these paths, it's not a case of X, Y, and Z. They're all interconnected to bring you to the fruition of maybe a manifestation you had, or bringing you to that fruition of you truly knowing who you are and being in your power. That's what's coming with the 4 of Wands. It's like, trust your journey and process, because this time next year you're going to be looking back at all of it and be like, you're going to be in this 4 of Wands, in this castle that you built, and be like, wow, oh my god, now I understand all of that. Now I understand the phase where I was learning about myself and building myself up. Now I understand the phase where I was tearing myself down to build myself up. I get it. I get why I had to learn all of this now. I understand that. That's so interesting. And you're going to be in that castle. Like, if it wasn't for all of that, I wouldn't have known I wanted to even have this castle. I wouldn't have even built it. I get it. So a year from now, it's like a full circle moment that you'll be having, where you're looking back and being like, there's this feeling kind of like, oh my god, I made it. But then that's when another journey starts to embark, because you build even more, and then you'll have another full circle moment beyond that, where you'll be like, oh, I made it again. And it'll just keep happening like that. It'll just keep expanding in that way. We have the 3 of Pentacles at the back of the deck. I think that you're working towards a manifestation, even in the time period where you're having a lot more fun and things are a lot more fluid. And I think you might not see it as work, but you really are learning about yourself in that time. It's 33 on the clock on my stand. It's 3:33, and then it's 33 minutes on my camera right now. It's actually 33 minutes 33 seconds. So yeah, that's a really strong confirmation as well for you guys. So yeah, that's what I have for you guys, pile 2. I really hope that you enjoyed the reading. Hit the thumbs up and comment down below if you did. I'm sending you guys all of my love. I hope you have a beautiful morning, afternoon, evening, whenever you guys are watching, and hopefully I'll see you guys in my next video. So thank you guys for watching. Hey pile 3, welcome to your reading. So we are taking a look at where you will be 1 year from now, and advice from your future self. So I'm going to start with tarot, and then we're going to move on to your oracle cards. You guys chose the honey calcite. I placed that up in the corner, so let's get in. So pile number 3, please, Spirit Guides, tap me into the collective of my pile number 3s. Where are my pile number 3s going to be a year from now? Some of you guys are going to be going through an ascension, in the sense that I'm being shown an expansive energy, like a Jupiter energy. I'm being shown pathways opening up, but also your mind opening up. I'll get into it once I've laid the cards. Pile number 3, where are my pile number 3s going to be a year from now? Where am I pile number 3? I see psychic gifts breaking strongly for you guys as well. The High Priestess literally dropped out, so yeah. Pile number 3, please, Spirit Guides. Pile number 3. I don't know if you guys are aware that you have very strong channeling abilities. I do feel like over the next year, specifically this time next year, they're going to crack a lot stronger. So you could be more super focused on a different psychic gift right now. It could be Clairaudience, Clairvoyancy, or something like that. It's all to do with like the third eye, but then I see like this time next year there's something happening with the crown chakra, and I see loads of information just coming through. Not that you never were able to channel before. It's just that with this, what feels like an ascension that will happen, I feel like it's going to have you channeling with ease. It reminds me of when I didn't even realize I could channel that well, and then I started using anything but tarot to connect with spirit. And the more I'd scry or write on a piece of paper or just, you know, read with twigs and leaves and things like that, the more messages would come through so strong. And it wasn't that I wasn't able to channel before, I just hadn't explored it that way yet, and I feel something's going to happen there. It could be mediumship abilities too, but if you're not open to that, then that's fine. But I do see mediumship abilities for some of you guys as well coming in stronger. If you guys don't, because I feel like you guys may be my spiritual pile, I feel like if you guys don't use spirituality in your everyday life, I feel like there may be a little bit of change of course where you might. So if you guys are thinking of maybe starting like a TikTok or an Instagram or a YouTube or anything like that, where you maybe do things that I do, or you know, do readings for people like on the internet, or start up a business like that, Etsy I'm being taken to, I see that really taking off, because it's almost like the universe is like, okay, we're on this path now. There's something about that coming through. And I find a lot of the times with a lot of people that work with spirit, it's like they tend to like work like a normal job, and then the universe is like, right, okay, you're waking up now, let's shift. And I see you guys doing that. Some of you guys are thinking of opening up your own store too, whether that's in person or online. It's like the universe is open. It's like you've had tunnel vision, but the universe is like opening that up, and you guys are expanding to get there. Pile number three. There's definitely big shifts to come. Strength, yeah. Pile number 3, please, spirit guides. Where my pile number 3 is going to be in a year from now? 8 of Swords reverse. You guys have been asking as well, maybe for an answer to certain restrictions you have in your life, specifically mental restrictions. It could be insecurities you have. It could be wanting to have like a certain career, wanting to open up more to spirituality, but your logical mind may have been holding you back, or fears and insecurities. And I see that breaking down and you guys opening up like a flower in that way. There's definitely a breakdown in some way. There's something that you currently feel is holding you back, but it's more mental than you realize. That's gonna have a breakdown, and I see once that's broken down a year from now, there's like flowers opening up. So again, it could just be limiting beliefs in regards to your psychic abilities, or where you could journey to in regards to spirituality. This is really like my spiritual pile. This is I see a lot of that coming through. 5 of Swords. Yeah, walking away from a paradigm, entering a new paradigm. Ace of Wands. So you guys may be manifesting and jumping onto new paradigms, actively doing that. I see that happening for you guys. I love how that's come out a lot. The Ace of Wands has actually come out a lot in this particular reading. Sorry guys, you guys may be clearing your throat chakra, because as I breathed, I like I don't know what it just did to my throat. So some of you guys may be clearing your throat chakra. I'm really picking up with the 5 of Swords over the next year. There's shifts happening where it's like, I want to do better, so I'm making certain small changes. And I feel like you're either doing them now, or you're going to start doing them over the next year for this shift to come in. It's like you're actively telling the universe, I want this and not this. I want this sort of connection, so I don't want these type of people coming towards me, because that's not for me anymore. It's like you're literally telling the universe, by your own actions, this is what's in my own remit. This is what I want on my paradigm, and this is what I don't. And then I just feel like the universe is like, okay, and just flips it on its head. And then I see you going through a little bit of, I like to call it the down the rabbit hole, like the Alice in Wonderland part of that journey, where you just open up and you see things in a different light. I see something like that. And you guys could be that pile that's been on many awakenings, but I see another one opening up. It's almost like life gets bigger. It feels more grand. It feels more colourful. I'm hearing the Kali Uchis song tomorrow, and she sings, I think she sings something like, I learned today that I believe in miracles. I see the world opening up. I think I broke the curse. So there's something that's been holding you back that I see you releasing. It could be in regards to your physical appearance and you gaining control over your own confidence and finding that confidence within. We do have the honey calcite there, but there's just something, honey calcite connecting to the solar plexus. I don't know why I didn't elaborate that for you guys. I feel like you already know what the honey calcite does for me not to elaborate, because normally I do. But I just see you guys really present in your physical body right now or over the next couple of months, like from now to the next 3 months. And then I just see a lot of shifts taking place. I see that this time next year is going to look a lot different than where you're currently at, and I see that over the next year there's going to be a lot more shifts. So if you have been feeling stagnant, I see a lot of shifts taking place. It reminds me of like I remember when I was going through a very big enlightenment period before I started going through my Kundalini awakening, and I was getting all these influxes of energies, and then my whole routine, like I'd be sleeping all day, awake all night, then I'd sleep for days, then I'd be awake for days, and there was energy shifting. And that's not to put fear in anyone, it's just there's energies literally shifting within you, spiritual upgrades. I just see a lot of that. I think the next year is going to be focused very much on your spiritual journey and discovering parts of yourself, and healing with this 8 of Swords. I feel like you guys are going to be doing a lot more healing, but I see it's like a lotus. I just see so much expansion, and I think this time next year you're going to see a lot of that expansion. I think you're going to learn a lot about yourselves and your psychic gifts. I feel like maybe past life, there's something to do with energy work, Reiki healing, anything like that. I see that some of you guys maybe having past life memories of that and that coming in. I see some of you guys getting rapid visions and being shown someone with a bowl in front of them and just getting rapid visions. It's like I feel like you're going to be very conscious over the next year, what food you're putting in your body, who you're around, what you're letting into your reality, and really solidifying that with the universe. This is what I want. There's a lot of that. I want to get deeper with some physical things, see some more physically what's going on. A year from now, spirit guides, for my pile number 3s, I feel like this is a journey as well as in regards to waking you up to your own power, because I feel like you guys are high priestesses, and I feel like maybe a lot of your gifts you haven't felt worthy of them, or you've had imposter syndrome, or you felt like this is where I'm called to, you know, head to, but then I don't feel like it's for me. For some of you guys, you may even use your spiritual gifts in a different way. You could channel them through art, you could channel them through movies, through poetry, and you could be embarking on a journey that maybe a lot of people currently on this timeline on Earth haven't actually embarked on before, or haven't for centuries. And I feel like maybe you're here to like blaze a trail, but you have to wake up to a part of your strength in order for that to really activate and bring it through. And that's what's happening over the next year, because I feel like you're on this journey of really seeing your light and taming those fears. As you see with the strength card here, she doesn't kill the lion, she doesn't kill the beast, she tames it, she walks with it. So there could be definite shadow work that you guys are doing over the next year, which may be at times a little bit difficult, but it's for you to wake up to the fact of you guys being this high priestess, waking up to these gifts and knowing that they're inside of you, and having that strength to walk this path or trailblaze a path that hasn't been walked before. I think it's all part of an even bigger journey, but I feel like this time next year there's a lot of oh my god, like I get it now, and a lot of oh wow, I realized I'm really good at automatic writing, and I didn't even realize it was a gift before, but I had to go through that alchemization for me to be able to actually understand how to do it. My old set of eyes before might not have got it because of certain limitations, but I released those limitations and now I understand, and now I'm a pro at it. It's like you're unlocking levels of mastery that you've already reached to be able to sit in them comfortably in this timeline. And I feel like this time next year you're going to be sitting in a particular gift or a particular career path, or you'll be walking a particular journey that you have already mastered, but you're activating it in this life. You're remembering that. There's an energy of remembrance. So it's really strong, very potent, especially with these 2 major arcana cards coming out first. And you're walking away from maybe certain conditionings, human and ego conditioning, so that you can align with it, because it's something you're being pulled towards. And yes, okay, it's intuitively being pulled towards, because you are very connected to your soul star chakra, your crown chakra. You are very connected to that and seeing those timelines in front of you. But you're also, it's almost like your solar plexus. It's like your inner strength is following these breadcrumbs to wake you up to that version of yourself. It's like in the Matrix when Neo asks at that particular moment, am I the one? You know what I mean? The one. And the lady says, no, you're not the one. And the lady was right, because in that moment when he asks if he was the one, he wasn't. He hadn't learned certain lessons and understood certain concepts to become that one yet. But as time goes on, he learns that, and by the end of the movie, he is that one. And it wasn't that he never was the one, he just had to become it. And I feel like that's what's happening over this next year. It's like I reached that level of mastery before, but I have to remind myself and wake myself up to it in this lifetime too. And that's what you guys are doing. There's a strong pull inward for you guys. And it may even be a little bit confusing, but then it's weird. It's like a paradox of, I'm really confused as to why I'm going inward or why I want to take these leaps, but then I also feel like there's no other path for me to take. I know it's my path. It's like a really funny paradox that you guys may be feeling, and you may swing back and forth, feeling super excited and ready to take leaps and go inward, and then maybe fears and insecurities, and I'm being called for you guys to listen to each side and allow yourself to acclimatize with each side, because this time next year you will have balanced both, because you would have tamed that lion. Pile number 1, where will it be a year from now, please, spirit guides? Where will my pile number 1s be a year from now? Throat chakra. And I was saying you guys may be clearing your throat chakra, working on your throat chakra. You guys may have healing abilities that are being unlocked through your throat chakra. Some of you guys may have beautiful singing voices, and when you speak you may channel light codes. I see a lot of people do that on YouTube where they sing, they're able to heal with their voice. Some of you guys may just be able to speak messages that have these codings within them that you are able to channel and connect with, and have that healing message through your own voice. And some of you guys are waking up to that too. So there's something very strong about the throat chakra here. And maybe there's parts of your story that need to be told, that people need to hear, and you guys may be heading up groups, opening up to collectives, or maybe heading online to really speak your truth and speak knowledge that you have that people need to hear from your own voice. There's a lot of that coming through. Pile number 3, what timeline? Recognition and reward, yeah. And then we have the 3, Jupiter energy expansion. I really see that. Where are my pile number 1s going to be a year from now? Disruption and emotional loss. So definite healing, guys. Whenever we are waking up to a certain energy within ourselves, we have to let go of everything that's holding us back. And sometimes what may be stopping us from aligning with that could be insecurities that may be rooted within our childhood, where there was insecurities and projections placed on us. And sometimes those feelings and emotions are uncomfortable for us to feel in the moment, but look at the healing energy and it turn into light. You guys are releasing them. And I feel like maybe there will be what looks like forks in the road with this disruption card, but I want you to know that everything is aligning you with a greater purpose. And anytime we are dealt with a fork in the road, it's for us to use it to alchemize and either springboard us forward, or for us to really dissect it and see how that correlates to our own current lives, and it's like we lean into that trigger and that wounding and that fear that fork in the road causes, so that we can alchemize, see where it's hitting within us, and we can patch up those cracks that may have been having us look at life in a bit of a faulty way, so we can alchemize them and see more clearly. So remember that even though all the ups and downs are leading you to a greater path, and that is a strong message here. I'm not going to say it's going to be this smooth, easy year. When does anyone really have this smooth, easy year? But I feel like any fear and emotion and anything that's coming up, I feel like a lot of the disruptions are to do with emotions that are coming through for you guys to purge out. They're leading you to this high priest energy. They're leading you to taming that beast and taming those insecurities behind within you, so that you can mentally free yourself from them. And the back of the deck, we literally have material and spiritual prosperity here. So that's where you're headed, and I feel like you're listening to that voice inside you over the next year to get you there. I see like there's something you're like sitting in and you've fully mastered, and you're putting it to really good use this time next year. And it could be something like groundbreaking, you know. I'm using the wrong cards. I've picked up the wrong deck. Hang on. Pile number 3. Where am I? Pile number 3 is going to be a year from now. Pay attention to every little sign and nudge, like animals, insects, angel numbers, just anything that you know is your spirit guide's way of connecting with you, or your higher self's way of connecting with you. I feel like you're going to get a lot of intuitive nudges and breadcrumbs this year that you'll be following. And hearing music as well, that's another thing that's coming through, as well as like books. If you read books a lot, little passageways that really shine out and really connect with you. I feel like that's something that you guys are going to be connecting with. If you guys are empaths, I feel like you're becoming an empowered empath. It's like you're taming your own gifts too, and really mastering them, honing in on them and understanding them. This is really a journey over the next year of a little bit of the hermit, but then it's like this time next year you're going to be the star. You know, you're going inward to connect with your own inner light, and this time next year you're shining it out. You understand that the light that you have within you and that strength. So it's definitely an ascension that you guys are going on to align you with who you always were. You know, it's not something that you're becoming, it's something that you always were. Pile number, we have last quarter moon in Scorpio, reveal what needs to be seen. Yeah, so you're waking up to your own truth. You may even be waking up to some hard truths, but they help you alchemize. Like it's like you're seeing where maybe you had in the past, and this always happens when we choose to wake up to our own power. We kind of have to look at where we gave our power away, where we look for our light in other people, and that's not always comfortable, and I have to say that, but it leads to you reaching this high priestess energy. It leads to so much happiness being returned. Not that it was ever lost, but it's like now you're aware of it. You realize that was all within you. You realize that power that was always within you. I feel like you guys are going to be waking up to new concepts of the universe too. That's another thing. I feel like you guys may even be like channeling information about why we're here that you might not even currently, as I say it, be able to comprehend, but a year from now it's like common knowledge in your energy because you've cracked it open. You're like, oh yeah, I remember that now. But you might not be able to see it yet. You had to alchemize certain things to be able to get it. Because sometimes when we haven't, because we're always expanding, like there's things that I hear now that I do not understand, but I know maybe in 10-15 years on another ego death and another ascension I'll go through, I'll get it. And there's things now that I understand that I used to take in before, but I didn't get it, and now I get it. And it's that journey, and I feel like there's even larger concepts again that you guys are gonna really understand. And it's like, oh, that quote or that saying that everyone says, I really understand that now. That actually makes a ton of sense. I see that so deeper now because I see life deeper. So there's a lot of that. Pile number 3, please, spirit guides. Where am I? Pile number 3 is going to be a year from now. We have full moon in Libra, find balance. I'm going to pull one more card and then I'll channel them. Pile number 3, please, spirit guides. Pile number 3. New moon in Aries, go for it. Yeah, I'm hearing the Rumi quote, follow your heart, it knows the way. That's what I'm hearing. In the back of the deck, we have new moon in Gemini, think it through. Full moon in Libra, find a balance. New moon in Aries, go for it. Yeah, I feel like you may be getting to know your shadow a little bit more. If you guys have already done a lot of shadow work, I feel like maybe you'll be working on balancing the shadow side and the lighter side of yourselves, balancing certain concepts, taking what you learned in the dark, taking what you learned in the light, and balancing them out to see the greater whole. That's where the expansion's coming from. And then for others of you guys, I feel like you guys may be really doing shadow work and really understanding that shadow side and understanding the darker side, which doesn't mean negative or bad. We have to understand the shadow and our shadow to see the greater whole. Otherwise, we're just looking from one side and it's imbalance. So I feel like there's something to do with that, and you guys seeing the full rounded view and balancing that out, which is why you're going to be really understanding your strengths as well. A new moon in Aries, go for it. There may be certain fears that come up, especially when there's little alchemizations and shifts happening, but you've got this. I'm being told you've got this. It's really, really interesting. And I'm hearing the Rumi quote as well: as you start to walk on the way appears. So even if things look a little bit impossible right now, keep walking. Keep your mind open, and the universe is going to make those shifts and changes for you as long as you're open and receptive to them. Because I do see a lot of different shifts happening to have you looking within. It's really interesting. But I see you guys, it's like you're looking for this golden heart, and then at this time next year you're holding the golden heart. I love how Spirit's taking me through the whole year. It's really, really interesting. So let's get some advice from your future self. Pile number 3 is future self. Please, Spirit guides, what advice does pile number 3's future self have for them? We have the 5 of Wands. What advice does pile number 3's future self have for them? Don't fight, just flow is the first message coming through. Especially when there's feelings where you're feeling uncomfortable, certain things releasing from your timeline, pains coming up. Don't fight them. Nothing's happening to punish you. It's coming into your conscious awareness for you to release and make do with it, to tame that energy. Remember that is a strong message here. When things aren't, how do I explain this? When things aren't, how do I explain this? When you feel an energy of resistance, just allow everything to flow. Don't fight the current. That's a strong message. I think that's more if you are going through a spiritual journey, and I do feel like a lot of you guys are, an ascension, spiritual upgrades. That can be very tiring. So don't force yourself to be doing a bunch of things when energetically you are alchemizing your literal DNA. You know what I mean? Like, remember how much work and energy you're doing energetically, and allow that. Give it time to integrate is a strong message. Pile number 3, what messages? The moon. What messages? Yeah, I feel like you may be deep diving into your subconscious mind, doing some healing work, so that a year from now you can be like, yeah, I feel like you may be going back to childhood a little bit to heal, but I feel like a year from now it's like, you may even be doing it now, but I feel like a year from now you're stood there and you get it. It's like whatever you're searching for over this next year, you understand it this time next year. You have it in your hands. If there is a spiritual business, opening up to your spiritual gifts in regards to a career, I see you going for it. I see a lot of alchemization. This time next year, you have it in your hands. But Spirit keep wanting me to talk about the journey, not the process for you guys. You may be learning that lesson of leaping and the net will appear, not worrying so much about the outcome and trusting yourself in that process. I think that's something you may be learning with Spirit, more so focusing on that journey. I do feel like you're aligning with a potential partner, soul partner. If you guys are already in a relationship, you can just let that pass. It could just be a deep friendship connection where you guys are aligning with someone that will be able to really see you deeply. But for a lot of you guys, I feel like without realizing it, and maybe even without that being the purpose, I feel like once this energy is passed through, I see you guys aligning with a connection or a partner that has been through the same journey as you, but you had to both maybe go through this to reach each other, because you both had to be in your high priest energy to meet each other there. So that's something as well. that I want to talk about. They tell me not to talk about it too much, but that is a strong message here with the Lovers card. I feel like not only is it representing you guys balancing divine masculine, divine feminine, your shadow side, your light side, your yin, your yang, I do feel like there's a counterpart. I don't see it happening in the next year, but I see the person that you become in the next year, the person that you are this time next year, that energy is going to align you with someone. And that's something that they're telling me to mention. Yeah, that's something that I'm being told to mention for you guys. But there's a lot of alchemization, and especially with you guys maybe aligning with a particular partner that does feel like some sort of divine counterpart. With you guys going back to your childhood and walking away from what doesn't serve you, I feel like you guys are releasing a lot of childhood wounds and concepts in regards to love. Maybe you guys have had connections that were more karmic in nature, but they were to teach you to go inward so you could open up to a more balanced love and a beautiful love and really understand that from a different set of eyes. Not that you weren't worthy before, there were just certain energies in your frequency that may have feared receiving love or giving love or being there, or you may have in your old set of eyes seen love as maybe being a little bit chaotic and might have feared it without realizing it, but your subconscious wounds are bringing them to the surface to allow you to release them so you can open up to that. And with the Eight of Swords and the Moon, it's like you're seeing things clearly. It's like you're going in to slay the dragon. That's what I'm seeing with the Knight of Swords. Anything that was stopping you from being this high priest, high priestess energy, you're going in to do that so you can come out the other end knowing that your light and your worth and your strength was always within you anyway. It didn't lay in the hands of anyone else. I think that's a bit of the journey that's happening too. But there's definitely psychic gifts opening up for you guys over the next year. There's something you would have tamed, worked through, and are standing in it boldly this time next year in regards to your psychic gifts. I'm being told to keep it there. So that's what I have for you, pal number 3. I really hope that you enjoyed the reading. Hit the thumbs up and comment down below if you did. I'm sending you guys all of my love. I hope you have a beautiful morning, afternoon, evening, whenever you guys are watching, and hopefully I'll see you guys in my next video. So thank you guys for watching. Hey pal number 4, welcome to your reading. So we are taking a look at where you will be a year from now and some advice from your future self. So I'm going to start with tarot and then we're going to move on to your oracle cards. So let's get straight in. So pile number 4, please, Spirit Guide. Straight away I'm being shown a house. So if you guys have been wanting to buy a new house, get a new house, I see that definitely happening for you guys, especially if you have that in your mind's eye. I see that. I just keep being shown a house. You may be moving house, moving literally to another country or moving away. I do see that. Like there's a thumbs up coming in there. Pile number 4, please, Spirit Guides. Pile number 4. Where will my pile number 4s be a year from now? Where will my pile number 4s be a year from now? If whoever's in a relationship right now, and this is only if it's something that you're wanting or have been expecting or wanting to bring in, if you have been wanting to try for a family, I do see that happening too. There's a lot of that coming in, homely energy, and that doesn't have to be, it could be that this time next year, for those of you that don't want babies, don't be frightened. It could be that someone in your family is welcoming in a baby. That could be that too. So like a sibling, or you, either a sibling's having a baby or you guys may have another sibling, something like that is coming through as well. Pile, there might be changes in the family home for some of you guys. Pile number, but it's all positive because they keep showing me the 4th house and Venus being there, so it's, you know, nothing like catastrophic or anything like that. Pile number 4, please, Spirit Guides. Pile, you may be meeting somebody romantically in regards to your soul family as well. That's something coming in. Like a divine counterpart, soulmate, whatever you like to call one of your soul, I just call them soul tribe members, but whatever you guys like to call that, I see you having somebody coming in from your soul family. It's like I'm being shown an energetic family tree and someone coming in. Pile number 4, please, Spirit Guides. pile number 4. If you guys as well have been wanting to heal something with a particular family member, I see something being patched up with a family member. It could be a sibling, it could be a parent, it could be a cousin, it could be an old family friend. I just see something being patched up or something being healed and worked through. Pile number 4. Pile number 4. 4, please, Spirit Guides. Pile number 4. Why am my pile number 4 is going to be a year from now? What's going on with my pile number 4s a year from now? We have the 4 of Swords. Where am my pile number 4 is going to be a year from now? The Empress. Where am my pile number 4 is going to be a year from now? Where am my pile number 4 is going to be a year from now? 4 of Pentacles. Where am my pile number 4 is going to be a year from now? I'm not going to use them because they just like jumped out. And I only want one card, please, Spirit Guides. Pile number 4. 6 of Cups. Yeah, you guys, you're either connecting back to somebody from your childhood, or this is somebody from a past life that's coming in. If you guys are single, I definitely see you opening up romantically to a connection. It doesn't feel like this time a year from now you're going to be in a strong, deep, committed relationship, unless you're already in the dating stages right now, just because it's something very fresh, especially with the Fool card at the back. I just see you guys, I feel like someone's going to be coming in and you're going to be at the beginning stages, or would have just been meeting them a year from now. I have to say, for a lot of you guys, this is garnering towards relationships. But I think that whoever it is that's coming in, they're coming in as a result of you guys healing or mending something in regards to your family home. Because remember, I was being shown the 4th house and the house and Venus in the 4th house. I was just really being taken to like family members and you guys mending something with a family member. There's an energy of forgiveness that is going to be happening over the next year that is literally setting the scene for a connection to come in. I don't know whether it's family members, or it's parts of your soul tribe that you've maybe moved on from, so exes, or it could be like, again, like an old friend, or maybe it's all of that together. This next year is going to be a lot softer than the past couple of years, and I'm talking about the year as a whole journey now. This next year is going to be softer. You guys are going to be forgiving and moving on. Now, when I say that, I don't mean releasing, purging, crying. Although those feelings may come up, you've done a lot of that, I'm being told, but there's something about either family life or a partnership in the past that represented, you know, what you learned in wounds that happened in your childhood, or there's a friendship or a sibling or someone that really hurt you, and maybe you had an idea of connecting with people, an idea of making friends, an idea of family that was distorted or full of pain. And if there's someone that you genuinely do not want to bring back into your life, I don't mean just bring them back and forgive them. I'm talking about when we release and we purge and we feel that anger, we then get to a point where we're able to recognize the growth, love that person from afar, or if that person has genuinely done the work too, we can bring them back in. But there's a level of forgiveness, newness that comes in where we feel this love being restored back into us. And when we have that energy and we no longer look back at certain energies and feel angry or why me, or the way, you know, it's like our mindset doesn't look at it like a tower moment anymore. Our mindset looks at it like letting go and opening up to the new. You're reaching that. There's forgiveness coming in. You may even be thinking back over the next year to exes, and for a moment you may even think you're feeling nostalgic about them. Oh, I miss that person. And it's not that. You guys are tapping back in to that love that you might have had for that person at the beginning, or that love that was always there that maybe you had to pull back and you had to deal with more negative emotions. You're tapping back into love in your own heart chakra so that you guys can release, have that forgiveness. And that's what's bringing in someone new. You guys are opening up to a new connection. And if you guys are already in a relationship, a connection you have in your life is going to grow, whether that's getting a home together, an engagement, wedding, child, whatever the case, something is going to grow, whether that's meeting a new partner or the partner that you have in your life, something growing there. And it's a result as your own heart growing, forgiving and opening up to that beauty again, and no longer fearing it or seeing it in a way of destruction or pain. There's a release, but it's a beautiful release. Do you see how she has that flower in her hand? It's like your heart may have gone hard as you were cleansing and transforming, but it's becoming soft again. Maybe you guys are going to be feeling romantic again. Maybe you guys are going to be reminiscing over the past and maybe childhood again, but no longer looking at the negative memories like you had to when you were purging. Looking at the light again. Looking at the positive again. Looking at the happiness again. It's like you're seeing light again. And you're getting excited for newness again. And that's something that's happening over this next year. Because this time next year, there's a seed, there's fertility. This is what we have as the Empress. She's fertility. So it's like there's something growing. Whether that's you having your own child, you opening up to a new connection. And I'm, with the Four of Pentacles here, I feel like maybe right now, or maybe when this person does come in, you might naturally still have that armor, be wanting to, self-preserve and be comfortable in that cocoon, but you're naturally going to be peeking out and opening up. There's such a beautiful fresh energy coming in, and this next year, I'm being told to say with this Four of Swords here, this year is about resting up, and not in the sense of everything's going to be plain sailing. There probably will be more things that you might have coming up to release, but very similar to like my video the other day when I was talking about you purge something big and then there's just remnants coming through that you might not have been super focused on because they were just in the background, they weren't the hyper focus, and they're coming through, and it's like you may be revisiting old connections, but not in the way of living in the past. I feel like you guys openly, with an open heart, thinking I forgive you, whether that's allowing people back in because you've both alchemized, or whether it's I love you from afar, I forgive you, I'm ready for the newness and I'm very excited for it. There's so much of that coming in, and I see you guys as well reaping what you've sown in regards to your own healing. So whether that's in new experiences, money coming in, having an easier time of something that you've been working on, whether that's just your own internal world and emotions. I see life being a lot more peaceful. I see you guys having that harvest with the flowers sprouting up here. We have the flowers in the Empress card here too, and the Fool is literally, holding the flower here. It's like you're able to pick that flower after having planted the seed and, watering it. It's like you're able to see, you're able to really see it, that light again, Pile number, your heart's opening back up after a time of being closed for maintenance. That's what I'm being told. It's like you're taking the no entry off your heart chakra and you're like, okay, I'm ready to look at life differently now. It's time. We have mental conflict. So I feel like for some of you guys, especially over the next year, there may sometimes be a little bit of confusion because it's like you've learned to have boundaries, maybe put armor up, to look for the negative in people in the sense of seeing people's shadow, to understand how much of yourself you can give, or to really know who to trust and look for the red flags. But then the pendulum is swinging the other way, where it's like, now I'm seeing the light, now I'm seeing the love, and it's like your inner child's like, yes, let's open up again. And there may be a little bit of inner conflict over the next year of should I really be thinking of this person? I'm thinking of this person in a really loving way and I shouldn't be. Why? It's honestly just the pendulum swinging the other way and you restoring your own energies, because at that center you do see the light in people, but you've just learned to see that balanced energy, and now that pendulum swinging back, there may be a bit of mental conflict. Why is that person coming up? And why am I not so angry with this person anymore? And it's not that you're going backwards, everything's coming back into balance now. You know that person might not, that person shouldn't come back in your life, or you shouldn't open yourself up fully to someone that might have hurt you, but you're opening up to that love and energy in the sense of forgiveness. I forgive you so that my heart can open up to the next person. or it's time to build on a relationship that may have fell apart, you know, with a father figure or a mother figure, if you intuitively feel you want to, or you feel like that's the right path. Always listen to your intuition, but there's something being restored and forgiven, and it's like you're opening up to brighter concepts. It's really beautiful. It's beautiful. Pile number 4. Pile number 4. We have disruption. Pile number 4. You know, I shared that song from Steps the other day, Better Best Forgotten. I feel like it might either have aligned with you then, or it may align with you moving forward, because the chorus is, let's take a chance at a happy ending. Let's turn the page and stop pretending. The past can't stop our heart from mending. It's time to let go, because baby, you know, some things are better best forgotten. So there could be even grudges that you've had to hold on to really alchemize them and purge them, but you're letting it go. You know what I mean? You may have had a lot to say to someone in anger, but it's like your inner child's like, I've purged it all out. I have nothing to say now, and I'm really grateful for the experience. Let's move on so we can, you know, we can move on with love. Let's do that. There's a lot of that coming through. You may even be asking, where's my anger gone? I need it. But you've alchemized it. It's turned to wisdom now, you know? Pile number... Prosperity begins, and the apples on the tree, like I was saying with the flowers, you guys are seeing the fruits of your labor. And I was saying the seed that was planted, you guys are seeing the fruits. I'll channel them all now. Let me just get one more card out for you guys. We have conflict and defeat as well. Prosperity begins, conflict and defeat. And the back of the deck, we literally have new beginnings, so the Fool energy. Why do we have disruption, Spirit Guides? Why is disruption here? Can I just say though really quickly, you both have you have 0 on both cards. You have the Fool, 0, new beginnings, 0. So you guys may be seeing 0, 0, 0, 0 a lot. That's a number you might be seeing. Because it's like you're opening up now. What's the disruption card for, Spirit Guides? I'll get to these two in a minute, but what was the disruption for? Yeah, do you see how he's in chains on the card? He's got chains and he's crossing himself, much like the 4 of Pentacles. I feel like maybe because you had to go through maybe some really dark parts, you know, again with the 4th house energy, inner childhood wounds into the subconscious, your mind may still be on looking for danger. There's disruption ahead. I'm looking for danger. And I feel like the forgiveness is the final key to letting it go and having your heart open up to a connection coming in. Because this time next year, there's a connection. There's a seed blossoming. And I think that you're letting go of these chains that were holding you back for this to grow. What's the conflict and defeat? Yeah, you guys are seeing the light. It's like, yes, okay, that connection didn't work out. And I think that you're honoring, you know, that defeat. Like, I would have really liked a connection with that particular person, but it didn't work out. And we had a lot of woundings within ourselves that had to be mirrored. But I did have a lot of love for them. It's like you're finding the light in that darkness, in that tunnel. It's like, I did want, you know, something with that person, and allowing yourself to just grieve that and feel an anger maybe that didn't happen, so that you can let go and forgive, so a new connection can take its place. And looking at, you know, I was the other day, I've been connecting with certain family members as well, and it brought up feelings for me specifically of anger while I was trying to, you know, open up with them, and the anger for me was, why couldn't all of you have done shadow work? Why couldn't all of you have gone deep within yourself to see me the way that I see you? Like, why? And I saw that anger, but I allowed myself to purge that frustration and understand that it was my journey and I chose to do that inner work, and to really forgive that they might not have seen their way through, or it might not be their time to do that yet, or they didn't see that strength within them, and understand, like I had to understand and acknowledge that frustration. which then led me to an acceptance and forgiveness, that it wasn't about me, and it wasn't them not wanting to come with me, and it wasn't rejection, it was their own woundings, that they just couldn't see that path. And I feel like you're waking up to that light, you know what I mean? I feel like you're waking up to that light and seeing the light in the darkness. I feel like maybe for a while you were walking along the tunnel in pitch black and just feeling things and acknowledging those fears because you didn't know what was in the dark. But it's like you're finding a light and you're really seeing and accepting defeat in certain areas. Like, that didn't go the way I wanted it to, but I accept it because it did teach me something different that has put me on a path for this prosperity to grow, you know. And that's what I see for you guys. I'm gonna pull more oracle cards, and then I'm gonna get advice from your future self. So pile number 4, please, spirit guides, a year from now. I see like the beginning stages. If you guys are single, I see the beginning stages of you dating someone that may even flourish to like family in the sense of having children, because it's like you're healing a wound there. It's bigger than what you're even perceiving it as right now. There's something about this forgiveness energy and you opening up. It's bigger than what you're even perceiving it as, because it's the next shift in the paradigm and the timeline to you guys acknowledging a more how do I explain it? It's like you're then walking that timeline then, and it's like you may find over the next year that you might not have always wanted marriage, but now you might want marriage. You might not have always liked romance, but now you like romance. Or I don't think I want kids too. You know what? I've actually healed that mother wound within me, or maybe I've forgiven my own mother. Maybe I do want kids. There's something about that coming through. And it's bigger than what you're perceiving it as now, but there's an aha moment that will come as you're opening up. It's like you're filling yourself. You've cleared the holes and you're filling them back up with love. That's what I'm hearing this next year is. So there's a lot of happiness, but it's like happiness that may also trigger you at times with this mental conflict, because it's like, how do I explain it? You might not have even received certain understandings or certain love before. You might not have allowed yourself to receive them before, and then they're coming in and it's like, wow, this is the first time I'm experiencing this in this incarnation. There was a lot of wound in here before. Oh wow, you know what I mean? And I'm hearing like allowing yourself to be held, allowing yourself to be shared, allowing yourself to be comforted, allowing yourself to be nurtured. There's a lot of that you're making way for and opening up to, that's allowing that forgiveness. I think that may be certain connections as well in the past, whether it was family members, friendships, relationships. I feel like maybe you saw the darker side and the red flags and how they may have hurt you, but I think maybe you didn't see at the time parts of them where they did love you, but they could only love to their best ability. And, parts of them where they did really have love for you and did express that, but you couldn't see it at the time because their way of expressing it wasn't in the best way, and maybe that triggered you. And I feel like you may be looking at it and really seeing light in spaces where you might have only just saw negativity. And that's something that I'm being shown for you guys as well. There's a really big full circle moment that is coming together over the next year. It's like another phase of the forgiveness. It feels full. It's like rejoice. It's like abundance. It's really beautiful. Pile number 4. Pile number 4. Full moon in Gemini. Embrace the flow of life. Where will my pile number 4s be a year from now? See the bigger picture. Full moon in Sagittarius. One more card from this deck, please, spirit guides. Where will my pile number 4s be a year from now? Oh, you have 2. You have the first quarter moon in Libra. Keep your heart open. The heart chakra. Look. Keep your heart open. First quarter moon in Libra. And step into your power. First quarter moon in Aries. Let me move these over so it looks nice. keep your heart open and step into your power. I think your heart is your greatest strength as well. And I think a lot of your abundance comes from your heart chakra too. I would say forgiving yourself may be a part of the journey, but for a lot of you guys, it's more so returning to your natural state of love after a time period of that center that you naturally had open and full of love. It's like you were purging, so maybe you couldn't feel your heart, or you just saw darkness, or you just saw pain. It's like you're returning to that state of love now, and it's like gonna be a little bit hyperactive for a little while, to be honest with you, because there's so much energy being restored there. It's like you're tapping back in now that you're more stronger in your power, and I think you're seeing things from a bigger picture. You're seeing the greater cause, and I think that's helping with the forgiveness. And I see you guys opening up in a sense of not even worrying about who's coming back into your life or who you're about to meet and all of that. It's like you're not even worrying about that. It's like you're just going with the flow because you're trusting your heart and where it's going to take you. There's a lot of trust in that coming in for you guys. And we have take inspired action, full moon in Virgo at the back of the deck. So I think a lot of this love as well, and this rejoice and this forgiveness is going to be channeled into either your work or some form of art. I don't know if you guys, I'm hearing some of you guys create clothes, or you guys may listen to music or create music, or you know, there could be like a project you're working on, and a lot of that forgiveness is going to be channeled into that, and a lot of your heart and your love is going to be channeled into that. It's going to be a motivation for you guys as well. This time next year, it's like there's something growing, whether you're having a baby, getting a home, getting engaged, being married, or having the beginning stages of a relationship happen. It's going to really, really grow for you guys. And if it's a relationship that's growing, it's a past life connection. It's someone that has the same inner child outlook on life that you do. The same heart as you with the pink energy. That's what it is. And I think, yes, you are in self-protection going to be wary. That's very natural. But this energy of forgiveness is what's drawing this end, this happy ending to something in. There's a happy ending as well with a friendship or an ex or a I'm hearing stepfather, so it could be a stepfather, a parent or a sibling or a cousin. And when I say happy ending, I mean some of you guys may reconcile. I don't think maybe reconciling with a partner unless you know that they've grown. But I do see like a sense of forgiveness, or maybe having a conversation in a very beautiful way. You might even right now be looking at and being like, no chance. But if you know it's someone that you wouldn't speak to, then it wouldn't be that. Obviously it would be something else, or just you naturally forgiving and moving on. But take whichever side of that resonates. So let's get advice from your future self. Advice from my pile number 4's future self, please, spirit guides. Advice from my pile number 4's future self. 7 of Cups. I think you have a little bit more leeway moving forward in the sense of you're super aware, High Priestess, Temperance, you're super aware that you are manifesting consciously and subconsciously, and because you've worked on your subconscious woundings and taming that energy, it's like, I'm aware of what I can manifest and where I'm going to go. That almost feels like a little bit of an open slate for you guys to just kind of create. And I think that's coming up over the next year. You might be dating around a little bit, trying new connections out. You guys may be, making different decisions in regards to your job. Similar to pile number 2, you could have been drawn to pile number 2 as well, trying out new aesthetics or, changing your hair, things like that. It's like you're trying out new things that align with you guys and align with your heart now that it's alchemized a little bit as you get to know this new version of you. If you actually, it's funny because it's reminding me of like, if you watch my old YouTube videos, like my old pick of cards, I guarantee you'll find a part where I'm like, I hate romance, I hate anything like that. Like I used to say that so much. because I feared it, like really, I kind of feared it. I never seen it in my life, so I didn't know what it even looked like, a healthy one, so I just feared it. And I definitely don't say that anymore. I actually love now. And I think there's something like that, like you're fearing marriage, but then you learn to love that, or you're fearing, you know, maybe having your own children someday, but then you're opening up to that idea in whatever route you take with that. There's like, or even career, it's like, oh, I could never be that confident to go and do that. And then it's like, yes, I could. Actually, I'm going to do that. I'm making those necessary steps. So it's like you're seeing from a higher perspective. I think that you've gained a lot of spiritual wisdom, and that's a message from your future self. And I feel like this energy and work you've put into yourself, it's not been in vain. You've really poured back into yourself. And a part of that is also forgiving yourself and everything that's happened, because you have this flower here. You're seeing, and the sun coming up, it's like you're seeing that new that light again, you know. Pile number, we have the Seven of Pentacles. I love that. I feel like those seeds that you've sown in the dark are coming to fruition. Yeah, those seeds that you've sown in the dark are coming to fruition. That's the message from your future self. And the back of the deck, we have the Page of Cups. So again, your future self is saying stay open to all possibilities, because that's going to allow your heart to draw in this energy here. Again, whether it's a home, engagement, a new partner, or a reconciliation with a family member or friend, you'll know intuitively. I'm being told you'll know intuitively what that is. So yeah, part 4, that is what I have for you guys. I really hope that you enjoyed this reading, and I hope it resonated for you. Hit the thumbs up and comment down below if it did. I'm sending you guys all of my love. I hope you have a beautiful morning, afternoon, evening, whenever you're watching, and hopefully I'll see you guys in my next video. So thank you guys for watching.